Hashem's name be blessed forever. Remember, this Torah class is sponsored for Refuah Shelema, speedy recovery. Any name you want to mention, and also the success and the well-being of our Israeli soldiers and the security forces in Israel and around the world. Amen. So, I think last time we talked. I think we left off talking about the dishwasher, remember? And people tend to underestimate the significance of the laws of kashrut, kosher house. They think that a lot of things that's obvious and they don't need to learn that, and it leads to a lot of confusion in the house, especially in the kitchen. And many people should know that if you don't study the halacha, you're probably doing something wrong. Make sense? So it's important that we will focus on daily things that or challenges that we have in the kitchen. For example, the next one we'll talk about is going to be I think we're done with it. Mixing. We're going to start with mixing the utensils. For example, you're using a fork, which is supposed to be dairy, to a meat. And it happens all the time. Sometimes, most of the time, is out of confusion. And you realize that after you already cut the meat or in the middle of eating, and you wonder what's the status of that food. Because we have to separate between meat and dairy, correct? Yes. But what if I took a dairy fork and I cut with it meat? Now there's another question raised that we all need to know. First of all, what problem you see here? Let me ask you. Let's see if you know what I'm talking about. What kind of a problem we have here? Do we have any problem at all? A dairy fork stuck into a piece of meat, and I'm slicing it. What's the problem? What's the problem we're facing?
Operation. You use a dairy tool.
First of all, dairy tool with meat. But the question is, how old is the fork? How old is the fork? What does that mean? It means when was the last time you used it for dairy? So if it's within the 24 hours, it's one thing. And if it's more than 24 hours, it's another thing. Within the 24 hours, it's more problematic. Right. We'll explain later in a minute why. It depends on the situation, if the meat is hot or the meat is cold, and vice versa to cheese. Okay, so we need to learn all these terms. It's any utensil, fork, knife, spoon, pot, plates, cups. If they were used within 24 hours, it's called bat yoma. Yom is a day, bat is the daughter of or the son of. The idea is within the 24 hours. It's bat yom. The age is a day. Meaning for our sages calculated that within 24 hours, any utensil that absorbed any food, let's say I'm using, for example, I have a pot, which is meat. And I cooked soup with meat. Nonetheless, we clean it, but the walls of the pot still are absorbing, microscopic, but absorb some of that meat. Okay. Sometimes you can feel it in the food that you will cook later. It's some tasty like meat. Nonetheless, you made mashed potatoes in it. You feel that's a little bit meaty taste, especially if you didn't clean it well. Okay, because in the heat, when you heat, now I'm taking this pot. Okay, I'm taking this pot, for example, And I'm using it now to boil milk. Hour later, 5 hours later, 10 hours later. Some of the meat that we have will sneak into the food. But if you will it was there more than 24 hours, it's already spoiled. Meaning, within 24 hours, he will make whatever food that he will meet, it will make it a little bit better. It's called noten ta'am lishvach. Is raising the quality of the other meat, of the other cooking. But after 24 hours, it's spoiled already. So we care less about it. This is just an example. We'll explain everything more, and we'll explain about it a little bit more later. So you see, it's not just I used the knife to cut the cheese, and it was actually a meat knife. Well, the cheese is cold. When was the last time you used the knife? Is the knife hot? Is the surface? It all depends, because our sage is trying to find leniency to help us out, not to get rid of the food. So, if it was more than 2 hours, don't worry about it. Just do this, and you can eat it. Oh, but if this and this happen, there's nothing you can do. You have to throw it away. But our sage is really trying hard to save us money and to help us out. But on the other hand, it has to be in the boundaries of the halacha. Okay?
Does a dishwasher mitigate the time factor?
No. It's 24 hours period. Regardless if you cleaned it by hand, in the sink, or by... Okay.
Excuse me, Rabbi, but also I have a question. When you do have a pot that is totally metal, can you kosherize it and make it ready for any other cooking, or it has to wait at least 24 hours? And what you were explaining,
if I want to kosherize any utensil, if I understand what you're asking, after kosherizing, immediately it turns to parv, and you can use it for anything you want. For example, if I have a meat knife and I want to turn it to a dairy, use it in a dairy, I can boil water, clean away, just pour on it, okay? And it becomes parv. What's parv? Natural, right? In between. And then use it whatever you want.
Neutral.
It's neutral, okay? No. It doesn't do the work like koshering it. Kind of like, I will explain, like koshering for Passover, for example. When you kosherize dishes for Passover, you can't just put them in a dishwasher. You have to go through some process. It depends on the utensil. So glass, you do this. For aluminum, you do that. It depends on the material, okay? So the best method is when people, I don't know if you saw it on Pesach, what they do, they have it here in the shul. They have a big barrel. Maybe you saw videos, you saw pictures, whatever. So you want to kosherize, but today it's not so much common because relatively buying dishes and utensils is very cheap. But back then, and I remember when I was a child, we were kosherizing some dishes for the sake of the Chag, the holiday. So, for example, if you have pots and pans with the lids, the covers, okay? So you need to have a big pot or a big barrel, the boiling water. After it's clean, you dip it, wait for a second, and take it out, and it did the job. A lot of people don't have this system. They don't have this big barrel to put that. So many shuls offer these services a week, I think, before Pesach. Here in the shul, they're offering it every year, and I believe in all the shuls they do that. Some people just don't want to bother with that. They buy extra dishes, storing for Pesach, and putting back for next Pesach. But this is just an example. This is what I don't want to go to the solution. I want to explain first the conflicts.
Oh,
okay. So let's start with a conflict, with a question. What's the case? The case is a dairy spoon, which is called bat yoma. Bat yoma, yom is a day, right? Bat yoma is 1 day old, which is within 24 hours. If I say lo bat yoma, means over. Try to remember bat yoma. Everybody knows that yom is a day, right? It's easy to remember. Bat yoma, we're saying bat, we're not ben, because kapit is feminine. Thank you. So kapit, you got a dairy spoon, which is bat yoma, within 24 hours, the last time you use it. And the whole spoon fell into a pot with hot boiling soup, meat. Okay, so you were able to take it out. And now you're wondering if you disqualify the entire pot. Because it's dairy, you turn it into a meat soup. So the halacha is very easy. What you need to calculate?
60.
What? 60 times. So if only the edge of it got in, I just calculate this piece. If the whole spoon is 10 grams, I have to calculate that at least I have 600 grams, less than a kilo of whatever I have in the pot. That's it. If so, the whole cooking is mutar, which is permitted. Okay? But if the mix is not 60 times more, the whole cooking needs to be trash. If the spoon is not bat yoma, it's over 24 hours, so you must kosherize the spoon, clean it, boiling water, and the whole food in the pot is mutar, permitted, because the spoon is already 24 hours plus old, which whatever has in it, even if it's microscopic, it's not adding into it's just spoiling it in 0.00 something. But so don't worry about it. It's over 24 hours. So far, so good. Yeah. When we'll finish this topic, you will see how important it is to separate meat and dairy. That will solve a lot of problems. One of the things we mentioned in the other class, that one needs to remember, that the laws of meat and dairy are very, very strict. And it's in many cases even more than non-kosher food, per se. Meaning, we have a kosher meat and we have a kosher cheese, but mixing them makes them not kosher.
Right.
So if someone, for example, have to work, like we mentioned the other day, in a restaurant, non-kosher restaurant, and he's Jewish and going to serve non-kosher meat and non-kosher chicken products. So he is permitted till he couldn't find anything else. He need to provide himself. He can work there. He just need to be very careful, because that will never be permitted, to mix or to cook, if they let him cook, dairy and meat together. It's even more serious.
Wow.
Okay? Even if just let him put the cheese over the burger, it's considered, so this part now. But cooking non-kosher chicken, it's less problematic than that.
Wow.
You understand the gravity of the situation?
Yeah.
Milk and meat together is not a joke. You have to take it very seriously. It doesn't mean that the other non-kosher meat permitted. I'm just telling you in terms of on the scale, right? Okay. Now, what if, so we've learned about the spoon inside a pot with the soup with the meat, and it depends if it's bat yoma or not bat yoma. In which case we're more lenient? Which case more lenient?
The one that's passed over 24 hours.
Low bat yoma, over 24 hours. What if I don't know? And you ask your wife, your husband, nobody knows. I don't know if I used it, I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So what's the case going to be treated like? No. The halacha says, if you have doubts if this spoon is bat yoma or not, within 24 hours or not, we are lenient to consider it as not bat yoma, over 24 hours. Okay? Because there is a rule, the rule says the following, I'm going to say it in Hebrew, Stam kelim einam b'nei yoma. In general, most of the dishes are not within 4 hours. If you think about it, you see that you have one cup, one spoon, you use it, but the rest, you don't really use it. You can mark one, we'll see that one, maybe you use it every 2 or 3 weeks, or sometimes never. You only use the top one, you wash, you put it back, and you know what I mean? So, if we don't know, and we're not sure, we have a safek, we have a doubt, we consider it as if it's more than 24 hours. Again, you see how our sages are lenient.
Right.
So,
Quick question.
and it works the same. If the spoon is meat, fell to milk, hot milk, and so forth and so on. Now, please, if anybody have questions, till we finish. And this is a case when a dairy spoon that fall into a pot with a meat soup, that is in kli rishon. You know what's kli rishon? The first on the pot itself that sits on the stove.
Right.
But if it fails to kli sheni, a second, for example, I took from the pot to my plate. This is secondary. The first kli is utensil. Kli rishon is the one that we cooked with. Either it's right now under the fire or not, but it's the first one. The secondary is the for example, the plate. If it fails, the same case, fell to a kli sheni, you may eat it, and you don't even have to calculate 60. Okay? One of the rules in Halacha says and holds that who has the power to cook? The one that is number one.
Right.
So this is number one, and this will be number two. If I'm pouring from here to here, this one has the power to cook and influence the items. Here, even if it's hot, it's going down.
Right.
And definitely number three. Number three, utensil according to all opinion, kli shlishi, consider as not something that doesn't have the power to cook. Okay, even if it's hot. Even if it's hot. It's a little bit confusing, but especially for those that hear it for the first time. But it's terms that everybody needs to learn and to know. And I'm giving you here only the halacha. So I want to confuse you with the whole aspects of this topic. Now, so kli rishon would be the one, for example, you have the hot pot on Shabbat. What do you call it? The samovar? No samovar. What do you call it? Yeah, crock pot. It's kind of like the water heater, right? Or the urn. Right? Your cup would be the second. So this is why we see many people on Shabbat, religious, they pour to a cup, and then from it to their cup.
Right.
So using it as an agent.
Right.
Because it says, you know what, I want to cover all opinion. Everybody says that the third doesn't have the power. I'm going to put everything, tea, coffee, solve all the problems. This is how you make tea on Shabbat.
Right.
On Shabbat, you use the third. If they ask you a question, how you make tea? Remember, I'm taking from number one, this is number two, and I'm pouring it to my cup. Here I have the tea bag, right, or the coffee. Nonetheless, I'm lenient, saying you can put it on the second, because it was already cooked in the factory, the tea bags, or baked, whatever. I want to cover all opinion, I want to be happy with all opinion. Third cup and finish. 1, 2 to 3. To 3, no problems. Okay, any questions so far on what we've learned? Don't bring me a new situation now, because I'm going to share with you many more situations.
I've got a question.
Okay.
What is the difference between Ashkenaz and Sephardic on bat yoma?
Same.
Same?
Yes.
I thought Sephardic was you have to wash it in between.
To wash?
Yeah, to wash with soap. That's what I heard from. Yeah. Anyways,
What do you mean to
you
wash?
have to wash it with. You have to wash the dish with soap between the meat and the milk for Sephardim.
Absolutely. And for Ashkenazim, you have to wash it. We're not talking about a pot.
No. Not. You can. It's just washing. You don't have to wait the 24 hours if you're Sephardim.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Okay, the 24 hours, it's a must. It's called Bat Yoma. It's a term that everybody follows. Bat Yoma, or Yamina, Ashkenazi, Sephardi, and all that. Okay? If you have questions about what I said, ask me after class. Okay? If you have any other source, send it to me because I'm not familiar with it.
Rabbi, I do have a quick clarification. When
Yes.
preparing a tea, you have in a cup, you put the tea bag there, and then you have to pour in another one. So, in
What?
order to drink it. Right?
What? What?
Rabbi, I have a question.
Yes, I can hear you. Say it again.
Yeah, when you do the preparing the tea, you put in a cup the tea bag, right? You put the water, and then from there you put it in another cup.
Okay.
Right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm okay. So the best method is number 1 is the hot water. Number 2 is the agent. And number 3 is where you have the coffee, the tea, whatever you have. You pour into it and you're good to go. Comprende?
Thank you, yes. Thank
Good,
you.
good.
Thank you,
Okay.
Rabbi.
Okay. I'll give you another scenario, just so you can. I took the spoon, fell in, I took it out. And my mother said, "What happened?" You don't believe it. I put, it slipped again. Oh, let me take it again. How much I need to calculate now? Twice.
What?
Now 120.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What he fails, you see what happened? You're so clumsy. I'm sorry. I just wanted to show up. It fell again. 3 times. How much did you calculate? 120. 120, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Not 3 times.
Oh, so it's only 2.
2
No matter
times.
how many times it falls.
No, it's not a game, Jesse.
No, I'm just asking.
Okay. It depends on how much from the spoon got into this meat
Right.
soup. All of it. It's just the edge. Calculate. And it depends. Everyone will calculate differently, but you can tell. Okay. I'm not going to skip all that. I don't want to confuse you any more than that. Okay, let's do this. Question. I have now a meat. I have a fleshik pot. I'm cooking. Okay, I'm not cooking. Okay, the case is as follows. I have a meat pot. He is ben yomo, because it's a ben, because seer is masculine. It's male. It's not female. Right? So ben yomo. It's within 24 hours. He took it. I didn't notice. Put it on the stove. And I boiled milk in it. While it was boiling, I said, "Oh my God, this is a fleshik. It's a meat pot. Someone cooked it within 24 hours in it. What's the status of the milk, the boiled milk?
Within 24 hours?
It's within 24 hours.
Straight.
It's right. The whole milk is go down the drain.
Yeah.
Why? Because the taste of the meat will go back to the milk.
Yeah. No.
Still a good taste. We'll give it to it. But if this pot was used more than 24 hours, 3 days ago, and remember, it was 2 or 3 days ago, more than 24 hours. Okay, what's the status of the milk? Permitted. Okay, because the Ta'am is called ta'am lifgam, the ta'am pagum, meaning it's spoiled.
Right.
So they didn't add anything but spoiling the milk in a way. It doesn't give good taste to it. But the pot needs to be kosherized.
Right. Because now it's spoiled.
The milk is permitted. And all the halachot that we study, by the way, it's a must for every Jew. The problem is a lot of people are lazy. They have this case, they just call the rabbi. And drive him crazy every day with a lot of questions like that. So I hope, don't be afraid to ask questions. But some questions, some people asking the same question every 1 or 2 months, same question. So thank God today there's a lot of info can be found on Google. Don't trust the AI or the ChatGPT with first because you bring from different sources. Some of them not reliable, unless the website specific one that you're using is reliable. For example, the OU, the CRC. Most likely, the question you want to ask, or someone already asked that already. They have answers there. There's many of them out there that you can ask. They are reliable, and it will save you a lot of time. Okay. Now,
Rabbi, I have a question.
Sure.
Is there any links we can use to find those reliable places that we want to search?
yes, I think the CRC has every these that I mentioned, OU, they have a list of reliable hashgacha, supervision symbols. There are many of them, but not all of them recommended. So I think one of them, one day we release that. If anybody on the Zoom have that list that can put it on a group, on a night class group, it will be wonderful. I used to have it, I don't know if I have it anymore. Okay? So that's the case with the pot, the meat pot. Alright? It was accidentally, he didn't know. More than 24 hours. Enjoy the milk. Less than 20 hours, down the drain. He didn't know. What if he purposely, intentionally, he didn't care, and he used this pot, meat pot, that is more than 24 hours. It's let's say it's 5 days old.
Right.
He boiled in it the milk. What's the status of the milk? It was intentionally.
Still good.
Down to drain.
Exactly, down to drain. The only leniency we got you if it was by mistake. But now you're doing something purposely, you need to get some sort of penalty. The penalty is to, right. So if this guy want to eat it, can eat it, but other people that care more about it, they know what to do with it for them, okay? Okay. There's a word for it in English. I can't find it right now in my mind. It's called kvisha bekelim. Kvisha is a kavush. Kavush is no. What do you call it when you put cucumber in you brain them in the brain in the vinegar and water. What do you call this? Pickling. Thank you. So there's something called kvisha bekelim, pickling in dishes. For example, if I have a utensil that a milk was in it for 24 hours, for example, think about whatever dish, okay, a pot or something like that. Even if the milk is cold, it turns the dish to become dairy. I have a parv pan or a parv pot, and I put in it milk, and I left it in a refrigerator, even if it's cold, definitely if it's hot. It's cold. Over 24 hours, immediately it becomes under the category of dairy, the dish.
Well, what about before 24 hours?
Nothing will help it. You have to kosherize it. Okay? Kosherize it. Okay. Therefore, you need to be careful not to put in it right now something that is meat. Okay, fleshik, soup, meat soup and stuff like that. What if he did? No. No. Not intentionally. He left milk and then he used it. Washed that a little bit, but still, this stuff is called dairy. A dairy utensil, dairy dish. Now I put in it, in this container, a soup. Yeah, meat soup. Even if the meat soup there is more than 24 hours, the food is still permitted. It's not recommended to do it, but it's still permitted. Should not be wasted. Some people do that with plastic containers. Some plastic, so it's a little bit tricky with plastic because we hold that plastic does not really absorb anything. They're very strong durability, but you can see that sometimes when you put some type of food in plastic container, it catch the color. Right? Curcumin or whatever. It will become yellow or something. And even if you put bleach, it doesn't go away. It depends on the quality of the plastic, right? So some you see in a way that nonetheless, in general, plastic, they are not considered, so you can use them, for example, a glass, regular clear glass. According to Sephardim, you can use it for meat and dairy, as long as it's clean. Why? Because we hold that glass does not absorb anything. Okay. Nonetheless, we have, in my house, for example, we are separating anyways. If someone accidentally used it, we know that just wash it, don't worry about it. Okay, but so you have to be careful also when using containers. People taking to work containers with food. Sometimes they put cheese thingy, sometimes they put dairy, sometimes they put meat. Recommended is separate them. I don't know, I can't tell anything about the quality of the. So you should have sets for dairy and sets for meat. Make sense? Okay, good.
But you can clean them together.
Oh, absolutely. Together in the dishwashers is no problem. The thing is, when I say kosherize, it's not clean. There's a difference between. Kosherize them, it's a different process than clean them. Clean them by using detergent, some sort of a soap. I do it by hand or by dishwasher. Kosherizing something, it's a different, higher level. After I'm cleaning it, I need to kosherize it. If it's in cold, with cold. If it's with hot, with hot. If it's boiled, with boiled. Something that we will learn how to kosherize and turn something to become parv. Right. So sometimes people give you a whole beautiful set of like China silverware, okay, or it's a real silverware. It's very expensive. Some people I have questioned people that they inherit from the grandmother. They know for sure it's not kosher. They don't want to throw it away. So there's a way to kosher it, especially if it passed 12 months. Nobody used it. Okay. Problems start with clay thing because clay really absorbs. But it's easier when we're using the silverware. Silverware, it's easy to deal with, mostly. Okay? So you can kosherize it at any time. Sometimes it happens while you need a very sharp knife for the dairy. So you can take from the meat side, you kosherize it, turn it to a parv in 2 minutes, and it become dairy. Or parv, you make it dairy. You know what I'm saying? We will learn how to do all these tricks, all these things. Okay? Fish always parv. Just don't try not to mix it with meat, because meat. Now, mixing dairy and fish, we will learn about it. Some of the Sfaradim, they don't mix fish and dairy. They will never eat, for example, it's not Sfaradi. They will never eat, for example, bagels with lox. You know what lox mean? With the cheeseburger? With cream cheese. With the cream cheese. Cream cheese, you put Salmon, smoked salmon. Okay. Cheeseburger is not, it's not kosher. Okay, so
Sour cream.
so most of the sour cream is fine. Most of the Sephardim won't eat it. Yom and night we have the minhag like Ashkenazim. Actually, Ashkenazim have like Yom and night that it's permitted. Permitted. There's no problem. The reason why they're avoiding eating fish with dairy because it can cause some sort of a sickness called tzaraat. But we saw that people eating today and they don't have that problem. So, but the minhag for many communities remain the same. Okay. Okay. Some people have, for example, ice cream containers. They're made out of plastic. Some of the containers are pretty good to be used again, but the ice cream was there more than 24 hours, obviously, right? When they make it, in the factory, the delivery to the store, the time to your house, we assume it was more than 24 hours. Therefore, they are considered as dairy. If you want to turn it to parv, you just clean it well, boiling water will be perfect, and it becomes parv. Okay? It's easy. Today, with the plastic and all that, it's something they didn't have, 1900 years ago. They never had plastic. It's an invention that we get benefit out of it. Okay, I think it's 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes? Okay. Let's talk a little bit about dairy knife and meat knife. Sakin, it's knife. Sakin halavi, sakin basari. Every person, everyone, every house should need to separate in a way that you'll be able to distinguish between the two. So you'll see in many houses what they do, they buy almost the same set. They like the brand, but different colors. So the handle for meat will be, for example, my house will be red or brownish. We know everybody, we find it on the floor, you know where to put it. You know the red going to the, and green/blue goes to there. In the IDF, the Israeli army, they are using only 2 colors, right? What's the colors? Mata Zocher, what do you remember?
Red and blue.
Huh? Red and blue. Red goes to meat product, blue, and they even putting on the, it's one of the laws. They're putting the spraying on outside of, it's a big pot, and on the lids, halavi, dairy. So no one will mix the two. Okay? So it's highly recommended to have 2 different sets with different colors. It makes it easier to separate.
Right.
What will be, let's measure, in which point a parv knife becomes meat?
When you use it for meat, yeah.
Okay, I use it, let's say I took a knife from the store after a mikveh, use it, it's kosher to use, fine. I'm slicing it only parv things, fish, bread. When it become meat, you get the titles of meat knife or dairy, as soon as you use it with warm and up, definitely boiled, warm up food. If I use the knife to cut or to stir hot dairy food, it become dairy. Meat, it become meat. To remember that. So, it's recommended to have 3 different sets of dishes. One is dairy, one is meat, and the third one is the natural, right? The parv.
So
Because what's happening here is the knife slash spoon, fork, whatever, absorb from the hot food. And he makes them part of him. So right now, when I did that, I actually marked it as dairy. Like say chemically? No, I said never. I want to say don't use chemical. One second. Oh, for example, if I'm cutting a hot pizza is hot, with a parv knife,
Becomes dirty.
from a chemistry point of view,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say.
It's the heat.
It's the heat, right, that caused the. It's chemistry. Okay. But what if I took from the refrigerator, what did you say, sour cream? All right. Sour cream that you made. You made sour cream lately?
Yeah, I do.
I made lately. I made lately, and I tricked the people in my house because they always, Abba, again you're doing it. I said, okay, you're making fun. Okay, I took from the store. We got what do you call the cheese that we have? The regular sour cream. In Tam Tam.
Yeah.
What's brand you have? It's white. And
Daisy.
Daisy. It's the best. So I finished one. I washed it, and I did my sour cream and I put in it. We served it on Shabbat. It was less Shabbat. It wasn't the best. It was the same taste because I added some salt in it. But one of the girls noticed because he says, "What's up with this cheese?" It was not that smooth. I had to take a little bit more liquidish. I can say, but everyone else they ate it. So I checked the system. So let's say I take this sour cream, and I took the parv knife, and I smear it. I use it to put it on the. It doesn't turn to become dairy because it's cold.
Right.
Cold doesn't affect it, as if I would use it with hot.
What temperature is cool?
Huh?
What temperature considered to be cool?
Anything that less than 40 Celsius, I wrote it here myself. Anything that less than 43, 49, or 110.
Oh, 110.
But definitely, if you take from the refrigerator, it's cold.
Right.
Even warm, it will be warm. It's not 110, right?
You fermented daily at 100 degrees about. So it's considered to be cool.
Cool. But if you use it for butter or cheese, it doesn't call now dairy. That's considered dairy. Just need to wash it well, and even if you use it right now after you wash it to cut meat, it's no problem because it's cold. Cold doesn't do much to it. Same definition to a meat knife, as I said. If you cut a hot schnitzel, you know what schnitzel, right?
Yeah.
It turns it to meat knife, right? But if you cut cold schnitzel, it doesn't make it meat because it's cold. And many people get mistaken. Now, you make it. No. It's not recommended, but if it happens, don't get nervous. Wash it and all is good. If you cut schnitzel cold with it and then you clean it and you cut hard cheese, it doesn't disqualify not the cheese and not the knife. Because it was used with cold and another cold.
Right. But what if you leave it overnight? Like you just forgot to wash it or whatever?
It's cold. Okay. I would recommend, nonetheless, it's permitted to use dairy or meat knife to cut bread. We recommend to have a bread knife. So use it only for bread, and it's always parv. Okay? You may use the meat one or the dairy one, just make sure they are completely clean. You don't have any residue left from the schnitzel that you cut the bread. So some of the residue will go on there. It's a problem. I think this is just a definition. Now, Bezrat Hashem, next week, we will learn what if you mix the two. I give you a tip till you know the halacha. If you get confused, always kosherize it. clean it well, boiling water both sides, everywhere, and it's kosherized. It's good. Now, the question, the scenario that we'll discuss is what's the status of the food? Okay, I solved the problem with the knife. What's up with the food now? What's up with the pot itself? You see, this is just one little thing. See how many halachot, and I'm skipping a lot of scenarios. You see how much one needs to learn. When I learned for my rabbinical degree, that was the most hardest for me. It's called the laws of ta'arovot, the mix. Oh, so many cases. It's endless. And Shabbat was not that hard. The laws of nida, it wasn't hard like this one. You have so many scenarios, and you need to know what's the source for it in the Talmud, and what if, and what, and they give you on the tests, the questions that, I don't know where they brought these cases from. But you need to be, I'm telling you, it's very, the laws of Taravot, there's a whole book, I have it in my house, I think they have it here in Hebrew, like that, thick, only questions and answer for this topic alone. The laws of Taravot. Taravot is mixture. Ooh, there's law, nat barna, din, I'm telling you. But it's beautiful, I loved it. But it's very, should I say, not only useful, it's very, people asking questions that it's on a daily basis. It happens to us all the time. Especially people working catering, people working in big kitchens. They have all these questions all the time. What if you cut with this knife a vegetable chasa that was not kosherized? The chasa, the lettuce, wasn't kosherized, so what's going to be insects on it, and if the insect disqualified the knife? People worry about these things. We don't know what's up with that. What if you cut accidentally? You cut a cockroach. Sorry to discuss you. Oh, what happened to the knife? Most of people, what they do, they throw the knife away. But I'm saying cockroach, but that's one thing. But there's a little cockroaches that within the lettuce, or mosquitoes. What if I ate one cockroach or ate a mosquito? What's the difference? They are both prohibited by the Torah. Right. Both prohibited. One of them is worse than another. Right. Okay, those who what do you call it? Squirrel, not no. Crow. There's another nice word for crawling. Squirming. No, it's called swarming. They're more problematic than one. It's considered when you eat. Let me tell you, one worm is if you eat 5 pieces of pork. One worm, because it's according to the pasuk arochesh ala haaretz. For every word, it's one, and people take it lightly. Don't even wash the chasa, the lettuce. They don't put it in. They don't kosherizing it. One worm you eat that is hidden, and I'm telling you, you'll see a lot of surprise. Sometimes I'm sending pictures from a date. You open a date, people don't even check the date. Figs, it's worse. And you're eating worms, or dead worms, or their eggs. It's like as if you ate few pieces of pork. And the Torah teaches you if you eat that is one prohibition. If you eat this one, it's 2, 3, 4, up to 6. If I remember correctly, up to 6. There's insects in the water, insects under the water. They are the worst. Those are the ones. So one worm that grew up in the food. This is why we have to. How you kosherize vegetables? Soak it for at least 15 minutes in a dish soap. No salt, no vinegar. They don't care about it. They just get stronger and bigger. Okay. Dish soap when you wash, and then, for example, strawberries. Cut the top, and on strawberries there's a lot of big problems. The vegetables and fruits in America are cleaner compared to other places. But especially if people eat organic the worse, because they don't use chemicals, they don't really kill the bugs, and the chance you have more is much higher. Okay, so we'll learn all these things. This is one topic, small topic. You see how sometimes you eat something small, you can even barely see it. It's worse than eating a steak of okazait, a piece of pork. I'm saying it because you understand the gravity and the severeness of the situation. No, out of pork, never. But you're eating worms almost every day with the fruit. You don't even notice. Cutting the beard also. Any questions? No, nothing. Thank you. On behalf of our Foundation, I want to thank everybody. We meet you Be'ezrat Hashem on Shabbat. There's a class after me, Rabbi Ronen, in Zoom only till further notice, which is a week or so. Parashat Shavua, Zoom only. Shabbat, Thursday also, they have a class 8 o'clock. We'll send a message. Shabbat 9:30. We wish you all the best. Shavua Tov.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. Wonderful
Thank
class.
you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.